What do you say, YouTube? This is the DoorDash Frankenstein monster back at you with another video here, recapping my activities for Monday, October 20th, 2025. We're just a week away, week from today. I get the stitches taken out, so really looking forward to that, I'll tell you. Of course, I'm not a doctor, but everything looks and feels like it's healing up nicely, I think. Um, Another bad day physically. So, my wife and I thinks it's the new medication I just got put on a couple weeks ago. So that's, you know, that's probably what it was, but I just did not feel good today. But went to bed super early. It might not have even been 8 o'clock, and I woke up. I think it was like 3:30 in the morning. I did eat something early. I ate like a couple omelets. That we buy from the store. You just microwave them. Um, And then after that, I've hardly ate anything. I just snacked on a couple things, just snacks just now. But I had a protein shake during the dash, but I just felt like miserable today and not like feeling like eating or drinking much of anything. Um, so I don't know. But anyway, I still had a good dash today, even still. I could have stopped the dash and just laid around here, laid in bed watching TV or whatever, but I don't want to do that, guys. I don't I you know, I'm type of person. If I don't feel good, I still try to work. I still got to make money. We don't get there's no sick days, there's no vacation, there's no PTO when it comes to full-time gig work. You got to get out there and work. um, waited 45 minutes before I got an offer. I was almost I wasn't desperate enough to turn on Uber, but I mean, if I would have got past like 7 o'clock without any offer at all, and then at that point I would have had to turn on Uber. But fortunately, 6:44 got my first order, 7:50 McDonald's. So here we go, and there you see delivered and $4 and a 3.50 tip. So I'm off and running here. Um, and then this, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I declined this. In the you see the timer got all the way down to 4 seconds here. I in the little bit, 30. I wish you had on some of these offers just. If you could get like just 15 or 20 seconds more, because I tried to zoom in and try to see where that customer was, and I couldn't. I just didn't have enough time, and I still probably wasn't like. No, I was awake because I was up since 3:30. It's not that I hadn't woke up yet. I guess I don't know. The fact that I just wasn't feeling good, couldn't think or concentrate that well. Like I said, tried to zoom on this and couldn't really figure out where it was going, and I didn't want to chance it, so this was a decline. I know this wasn't going as far as like the airport, and I didn't want to go out there because I've talked about it before on my channel. The local radio can be really helpful, if you have that, especially in the mornings, during rush time. But there was a road closure because of a fire near the airport, and I go through right where they were talking about. I go through there sometimes. That customer that I just blocked, that I talked about a couple videos ago, that's exactly the route that I would have went to get to her and the road was closed and I would have been in a whole world of trouble. So I was trying to be careful here with anything going out east. Um, so I declined it. Went ahead and took this and $5, 4.5 mile McDonald's, okay. And folks, if you want to call it jinxing myself or whatever, yesterday's video, I talked about the customer that I delivered to that I was maybe going to bump them up and consider them now to be my number one customer. Guess where this was going? I just mentioned him, yet my previous number one customer. That's where this was going. I couldn't believe it. It crossed my mind to buy a lottery ticket today, but I didn't. But that was just crazy. It's some of the things like, when I mention something on a video and then the next day that thing happens, or it's crazy. Some of this stuff. But yeah, and I was talking to my wife, about it a little bit later. His orders, I've always only taken them because it's really short runs. It's he doesn't tip much, but I've delivered to him many times before. But see, here's the thing: it's always around this time period right here, and the last several months. See, around this time, I hope to be on a Meijer shopping order, and a lot of times I am. So I think it's not that he stopped ordering. He probably still is a regular DoorDash customer and have Dash Pass and all that. I think it's just because the more my shopping orders increased, the less I seen of him, and that's why. These other people that I was going to move to number one, see, I mostly deliver shopping orders to them. So there you go. For whatever all that's worth, delivered at 7:32, 2 and 3. So, $8 for 2 tropical smoothies. Not doing this. This was a decline. Upside down, $4, 7 mile Starbucks decline. This folks, I can't remember, to be honest. I might have. No, I think I declined that. I think this was a decline, but there's at least two orders that I did where I didn't get a pay screen because of offers coming in. This right here, this was a decline, $18, 15 miles going out to Obets. If it would have been over, this would have been like $22, $23. I probably would have taken it then. Right away, here we go, $5 3 mile McDonald's, done. This one might have been going to the hospital area. And because, like I said, that road closure, and there were some other accidents too they were talking about on the radio. I was fine early in the morning just doing these like routine runs. So there was the one to my number one customer. There was this one. This might have been the hospital. One of the other ones went to like the nursing home. And just local, easy, routine stuff. And I was fine with that. 2 and 3 for the $5. Here we go, $7 4 mile Smoothie King. You see right here, I was pulling into that shopping center to park and wait for orders, and boom, didn't even get the car stopped when this came in. However, this was unfortunately a 10-minute drop. kind of funny little story here. I get in there and I tell them who I'm there for, and then start waiting. Okay. Then, like, probably 3 minutes into it, this other lady walks in and just, stands there. This other, presumably a customer, I don't know, could have been a driver for all I know, just stands there. The problem was there's only one worker in the Smoothie King and hadn't even started on my order. She like looks at this big long string of orders. It was like 4 or 5 orders and sees mine. Okay, and then looks at me with like a concern, like, it's gonna be a few minutes. Kind of acted like that. So well, okay, whatever. Okay, and then like I said, then she's preparing orders, whatever. Then this other lady comes in. Okay, the staff, then like 7 minutes goes by towards my 10-minute drop. The staff never says anything to that other customer. Hi, are you here to pick up an order? Or, never says a word to her. Okay, and the staff member is, at one point, she's fixing like this toast and putting the toppings on it and sealing that up, getting that all ready, and then getting a smoothie ready. I just assume it's my order because that's what was on a smoothie and a toast was on my order. I just assume it's mine. And I just assume this other lady's patiently waiting for my order to get done before she's helped. Sorry, I'm making a long story out of this that it doesn't need to be. Okay, so then the staff member finishes up and then says to the other lady, "Oh, okay, it's just one more smoothie and I'll have this done." And I'm thinking to myself, wait, this whole time she was working on her order, and I don't know, maybe something transpired before I even got there. Maybe that lady originally checked in and then was told, oh, it's going to be about 15 minutes. And then she went back to her car for a while and then came back in. That's why she never checked in while I was there because maybe she already had. I don't know. But yeah, and then this, like I said, this was like at the 9 minute mark. This lady that comes in after me gets her order, and presumably mine at 9 minutes still hadn't even been started. Um, and then what you see here on the screenshot, it wouldn't let me drop it penalty free until almost 11 minutes. So that was kind of interesting. I usually have no problems I usually just wait 10 and a half. I had to wait an additional, you see here, 27 seconds on this one, but it is what it is. And then I think I chose for how much longer until this is ready. I think I chose like the middle option, like 15 to 20 minutes or whatever that middle option is. 775 4 Mile Tim Hortons. Went ahead and did this. You see here 5.5 minute wait for just donuts. And why did I wait 5.5 minutes? Folks, go ahead and say it with me. Say it alongside with me. They always prioritize the drive-through. Drive-through gets priority. Thank you very much. So they're, preparing this drive-through customer. And then, another car goes by, another car. And then, then the lady who kind of looked and acted like a manager. I don't know if she really was or not, but she finally asked me who I was there for, and she got the 6 donuts and gave it to me. Took her like after my 5 minute wait, it took about 10 seconds to grab 6 donuts and put them in a small sack. You know, how much was this again? $7.75. And we don't have a time on here, unfortunately. So $2.75 and a $5 tip. Here we go. 5.25 4 mile McDonald's and 14 minutes, 3.25 and $2. Thank you. I'm at $30. $30. We're coming up on 3 hours into the dash, so $10 an hour rate. Hey. $6.50 with a hidden tip, 2.5 mile McDonald's, absolutely. 16 minutes, that paid $7 actually. So 2 and 5. All right. Let's go ahead and do this one too. And no pay screen on that, delivered at 9:22 because I got an offer. DoorDash, if somebody from DoorDash is watching this video, please fix that. Okay, I don't know why it's just such, it's like this nagging pet peeve of mine, but I would like to have an opportunity. Because now you got to click on a little arrow to drop down to see the base pay and tips and break it down. And I had problems clicking that arrow on my phone. It's kind of difficult to do. I don't know why. It doesn't open up right away half the time. So I need like, give me like 10 seconds or, so I can get that screenshot, and I don't know. Or at least other offers can come in, that's fine. And I'll accept them or decline them or whatever, but let that pay screen stay there in the app until I close it out. It's just such a stupid thing that irritates me, and I don't know why. I don't know. $24, 11 miles, Aldi's, 31 items. This isn't too great, but my wife, somebody told my wife, or maybe she saw it on social media, that Aldi's, our location, had Alani Witch's Brew at the checkout registers yesterday. So I was a trooper. I went ahead and took this order so that I could go to Aldi's and look for that for her. And I didn't see it. So much for that. So now I'm stuck shopping this order. Get there 7 minutes later. Here's the list. I thought this was interesting here. I'd never seen this before, where one of the things I was supposed to shop for is called produce. So I had to zoom in on this picture. It was watermelon spears. But I could have gotten anything, probably anything I wanted from the produce department for that like item, because it didn't have me scan anything. I went to click on this, and then there's that button, add one item without a scan. So I could, it just says produce. So I could have got I could have got one apple or something, for this if I wanted to, and it would have been, technically anything would have sufficed for that. That they didn't have spears, they had chunks. So that's what I went with, watermelon chunks. This right here, the hot sausage links. They didn't have, they just had mild. I marked that as unavailable. Customer was notified, no response. I went to call, no answer. I just substituted this on my own. I don't, I try not to do that very often, but I figured, it's the same thing. We're just talking the difference between hot and mild. I just went ahead and made the substitution. And of course, we all know if they're not, if the customer wasn't okay with this, then they just, they can still get their refund. Um, and then, so delivered, so this was exactly 1 hour for 24.25. So 14.25 and a $10 tip. So that's, I was like out of zone though at the drop off, but that's okay. 8 minutes later, coming back to zone. $12, 7 Mile PetSmart, one item. Again, did not get a pay screen. So and I don't have a time here, but this is one bag of dog food is all that was. So $12. I guess I do have. No, I can't. My phone's in airplane mode, so I can't check the breakdown right now on my phone. uh, $23, 14 miles, 6 things to shop for. Yeah, let's do it. Somebody was doing some baking, I'm assuming. There was, so we had the two Hunt's puddings. We had the 3 cans of pumpkin, and then multiple quantities of 3 different kinds of flour. It was interesting. So this was all just in 2 aisles of the store. And what did this take me? 5 minutes. 5 minute shop, easy. Um, and delivered at 11:36. So I don't know the total time on that. $15, $8 tip. Uh, 25.50. It's only 5 miles, Aldi's, but you got to shop 60 items, 88 units. That's going to be an overflowing shopping cart. I declined this, and I was on the phone with my wife, and I asked her. I said, "Okay, let me. What do you think of this order? Would you have taken it?" And at first, she said that she would have, and then paused and, she, like a minute or so later, she kind of changed her mind and she's like, no, actually, on second thought, I don't think I would. 88 units, no, not doing it. So, yeah, this is kind of, you know, it's, I guess it wouldn't be a bad order, at least mileage wise. Wouldn't be a bad order if somebody that's trying to maintain the acceptance rate to remain platinum dasher or whatever, and you have to take this to keep your AR up. This isn't like this right here wouldn't be like taking a $2 10 mile order in my opinion. If you could get lucky here and a lot of the items could be closer together, you could have a lot of stuff along the cold wall and it could end up being a fast shop, but I wasn't going to mess with it. But this is what I took instead. $7 3 mile jets. Thank you very much. Done. I told my wife, I said, this isn't paying nearly as much, but I'm not doing hardly anything. I'm going to Jets and picking up a pizza. And I went there, and it wasn't even like it was almost like I want to say it was like a small pizza. It's like bigger than a personal. I just went in there, and it was done when I got there. walk in, pick up a small pizza, delivered right down the street to a business close by. Boom, done. So, $7 instead of 24, whatever, like less than a third of the pay as the previous offer, but like a tenth of the work, if that. 2 and 5. Took me 15 minutes. That oldie's could have taken easily an hour and a half. You know, I didn't like this. $9, 9 miles going to the hilltop. That's the center of the hilltop right there. Not yeah. I got a shop for 5 8. I didn't even look at the items. That was a decline. Same thing here. 7.25. I got a shop for 10 things at Dollar General. Not doing it for just $7. I kind of start. It was like a brief bombardment here. So there's those two bad shops, and then a couple really horrible orders here. 7.75, 14 mile Raising Canes decline. Same thing here, $7, 14 mile Taco, but there's Taco Bells. I can guarantee you that there's Taco Bells in Whitehall. Okay, I'm telling you right now. So this makes no sense to me. Here we go. Here we go. 33.50. Yeah, 27 miles, but I got to shop just 9 things at Target, and then the PetSmart's a pickup. So yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Okay, I start heading to Target. Then they stack another pickup on me, and I didn't even know Michael's did pickups. I've only ever seen shopping orders from there, and just one item. 11.25 additional 5 miles. So yeah, let's go ahead and do this too. And okay, so now the almost $45, that's now going to put me over goal. So yeah, I just need to do this triple right here, and then I'm done for the day. Okay. These 3 places. So if you picture like one major intersection with shopping around it, these 3 places were all right there, but on like 3 different corners. So for like each, no 2 of these is in the same corner of the intersection. So each time I had to cross the street. Okay, so then they tried to stack a 4th order. I wasn't expecting any more offers to come across. We're working on a triple. Otherwise, I would have hit pause orders after delivery after the Michaels. But I got this one, and so I didn't want to. I guess this isn't bad. 8.75. Not even adding a mile, and I got to shop for 2 items. I just didn't want to mess with GFS. That's actually right in front of the Michaels. So I could have done that, but even though it was only 2 items, I just don't like messing with that store, guys. I just don't. Okay, so first the Target. No problems here. This is a 9-minute shop. This was easy. Found everything. No problems. Done at 12:13. Then it was off to PetSmart. And what did I? Oh, that was the customer you seen on the original screenshot that was going way south. That's why all the mileage on this order. That was this customer is like a I think a 40-pound bag of dog food. So I pick that up and get to Michael's. And here's all the, I had to read these, pickup instructions because of course, obviously, I never did a pickup there before, but it basically, I mean, this is like a book here, but it more or less just says that it's self-service. There's a pickup area right inside the store. And you just pick up your order, and there should be like a receipt or whatever, but you don't take that. You leave that there, and then it goes on to say that if there's balloons, then that's in a different pickup area, which please let this not be balloons, please. I couldn't see what it was. When I tried to hit the drop down arrow to more details on the order, there's just like an order number. It didn't show what this was. But sure enough, I walk inside the store, and then took me a second to find it. But yeah, right inside the doors was a rack with these totes, and I found it right away. And I don't even know what this was. It was in a sack and tied up, so I don't even know what it was. But it was small, it was light, so easy pickup. Okay. Then it would now off to my deliveries. I delivered the Target at 12:42. Next was the Michaels, and at 12:54, 650, or I'm sorry, 450 and a 675 tip, plus in addition a $10 cash tip. This customer he's standing outside when I pulled up. Super nice guy. I start walking up to give him that order, and he was like, "Hey Joseph, how's work going today?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's going pretty good." And hand him the order. He gives me the cash. He goes, "Here you go, Joseph. Hey, put some gas in your car with this. Get yourself something to eat. And he was like really super cool, and I really appreciated that. And on my drive away from there, I thought, maybe I should start doing that too, doing the combined, tip in the app and a cash tip. I might start doing that because that really makes a dasher's day. That kind of made my day today, and that's really nice thing to do. Um, I just placed an order a couple days ago, a DoorDash order. I got Eat Greek, and I always just tip in the app. I left a $9 tip. Now I'm not, if I do partial cash tip, I'm not going to change my delivery to hand to customer, because I know that when dashers see that, because I know how it is. Obviously, you see that hand to customer, and you're like, oh man, why can't this be leave at the door? So I would leave at the door, but um, I would still meet the dasher, and give him a cash tip in addition to whatever I tipped in the app. I might start doing that. Either that, or get my wife's help with putting like a snack table out front, and have different snack, because we always got like all kinds of stuff in this apartment, and leaving like where they can grab snacks. I've only had that, like, I think one time, and I mentioned it in a video. I dropped off, and there's like a snack table. I grabbed some Cheetos. Um, but anyway, yeah, that's just, like I said, that goes a long way when people do that. And then did my, like yesterday, I had that 20-mile drive between customers. Today was 18. So I have my 18-mile drive down to the PetSmart customer, and there it is right there. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. 21.75 from DoorDash and 11.75 tip on that Target tip. So appreciate that. And folks, that was it. Logged off at 122. 14 deliveries for $155.15 plus the $10. It was a 7-hour and 13-minute dash. Active 5 hours 45 minutes. So yeah, always great when I can meet my goal in under 6 active hours. I did not get my mileage. Once every 2-3 weeks I forget to get my odometer reading. So on my spreadsheet for today, it's I just put 100 and question mark. So I don't know what the mileage was. Aggravating. Another thing I wrote down here from my spreadsheet, my last cash tip was back on September 16th. So a little over a month ago, and finished with 41% acceptance rate. And folks, that is it. So I'm gonna log off here and feel a little bit better now after recording this video. And so hopefully tomorrow is a much better day. We'll see. But anyway, that's all I got for now. Guys, thanks so much for watching. As always, be sure to drive safe out there, and we'll do this all again tomorrow. We'll see you at the next video. Thanks again.